can't do the interview with those shoes in my face. You have a flyer?
I'm more nervous about it. Jack, bed.
Hey, on your bed. On your bed.
Go to bed. You put on your walking shoes.
Brink, first episode. Okay, so this is Out of the Ink with BlueOctopusMedia. Today we have Christian Gehring. Thank you for coming and talking to us.
So cool to be here, man. This is awesome.
Yeah. So let's start. So how did you? First of all, where are you from?
Washington, D.C. originally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Moved out here 5 years ago though to pursue the old acting game.
That's cool. Did you do you remember your first gig? Like, was it like your first time on set? What was that? What was that like?
My first real time on set was on the show called Major Crimes.
Okay.
On TNT, I believe, or TBS, one of the T's, one of the T networks, and I was playing a gay bartender.
Oh, okay. All right,
Yeah.
cool. Well, how many was it? Like an under 5 thing, or was it a?
Yeah, it was a co-star. I don't think it was under 5, but it was actually a pretty meaty scene. And the guy is actually on a show now called Pure Genius.
Okay.
And so it was cool to see like this unknown actor. Now he's a
Kinda
series
grow.
regular on
Yeah.
this big pilot.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like encouraging, but it's cool to see that kind of unfold.
You've done. You've actually been booking a lot recently, and so what do you have a favorite role that you've done so far, or because I recently saw you on TMZ discussing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we can talk about that. My favorite, actually that is my favorite role because
really?
I got to work with a legendary actor. Oh, sorry, that was HBO's The Brink.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But I got to work with Tim Robbins and Carla
cool.
Gugino, who I always looked up to, and he actually directed the episode, so I got to like get some FaceTime with him.
Yeah.
But in the episode, I am having an affair with Tim Robbins' wife. And I have to wear this 14-inch prosthetic penis. Can I say penis on this?
Yeah, sure. Why not? It's
Penis.
internet, say
And it was hilarious. I walked on set with this. I just disrobed and walked on set, and the crew members were like, "I'm sorry, what? Like, I'm sorry, who?" And I was just like, "Oh yeah, don't worry about that."
Oh,
But it was,
God.
it was an experience, and it was just like super relaxed. I mean, it was a fun set. It was a comedy, so
Yeah, it was a funny scene. I saw it, and when he walks in, I was like surprised at his reaction, how nonchalant it was. But
yeah, I mean, that's not the
Yeah.
one that you're gonna show your parents or you tell them not to.
did your
that
parents watch?
They
the
didn't.
Brink?
They didn't. I told them. I said, don't, please don't, because they're already worried that They just don't think I'm an actor at all. They think I'm just doing gay porn out here. So that's about as close as it gets. So I was like,
when you came out here, when you first, because you're from the Virginia area, I'm from the Virginia area.
Yeah. 703.
Actually, and I met you on set. That's where I met Christian. We were
right.
working on a Red Bull series.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Which was fun.
Exit Vine.
Exit Vine, yeah. But did you, when you came out here, first of all, did you go to school for acting, or did you go to college for acting?
Didn't. I went to school for videography and editing.
Oh, okay.
And I minored in theater, so I wasn't really focused on that until I started doing my own short films and started acting in them. And then I always wanted to be an actor, but I was like, that's not attainable. Like I'm on the East Coast. That just seems like a dream. Like that's just a pipe dream, and I'm fine with that. But then I graduated, and I was just like, why? What the hell was I thinking for 22 years? Like, of course I can do that. Like, whatever. So I just, a couple buddies of mine, we packed up, we drove across the country as soon as we graduated, and we had $1,000 in our pocket. No idea. Didn't even know if I could act. Like, really, I had no idea. I wasn't sure if I could book anything ever, but it kind of just unfolded, and you meet people, you understand, you start to realize there's a way about it. We did showcases, we put ourselves out there. We said, all right, this is terrifying, because we gotta, you really gotta like jump in and immerse yourself, otherwise you're screwed. But we did, And I mean, honestly, every single one of us has booked and is working, and it's kind of a wild ride.
You have to give yourself 100% to the craft because the competition is so fierce, and there's a lot of talented people out here. So, do you have a favorite teacher out here that you really?
So first thing we did was, I mean, we knew we didn't know what we were doing, right?
Yeah.
So the first thing we did was we looked up acting schools. We found a place called Beverly Hills Playhouse, and it's a great school off Robertson in like West Hollywood. And yeah, it was amazing. I mean, we worked with Art Cohen, and he's a brilliant acting coach, and kind of just put ourselves out there. And we realized that, you know, we had this kind of natural ability. Like, we all loved film growing up. We loved movies. We understood human beings. Like, so everybody says it's just like listening and reacting and really like being in the moment. And we kind of all got that. But there was so much to learn. So that was the first thing we did was, and I would recommend that for any actor, is find a school that you like with an acting coach that you see eye to eye with.
Yeah.
Like, really right away.
And I've also thought too, is I've always liked to observe the actors in the class as well, is to see how they work, because it's important to have an acting coach that is great, obviously, but what's also important is who you're working with, because
absolutely,
man, if you're working with someone great, they can really push you, I think, to the next level.
Oh yeah. Seek out the people in the class that you are like, that you can like look up to, and then you're like, wow, these are talented actors. They understand. They've been around the block. I can learn from them and work with those people. Like,
do you
every time.
Do you have what are your thoughts on having a mentor, or do you have a mentor, or do you have?
You know, I'm actually right now. I'm looking. I've had a few, but I like to get knowledge from different areas, and I don't know. I don't think that there's necessarily a set way to go about it, and that's just my style. I like to bounce new ideas, like learn different methods, and so right now I'm actually looking for kind of a new mentor, new teacher, new area of focus. I mean, there's so many different areas. There's the audition technique. There's on camera work. There's self tape. I mean, there's an art to every aspect of it, and I think that's something that I'm really still learning about. Yeah. That there's so much that you have to learn and understand about the process.
If you could give actors that are starting where you started, you know, and starting where. You know, coming out here
from
with
absolutely
with
nothing.
$1,000 with $1,000 with a group of friends, what would you say the most after booking and after working in this field? What would you say the most important thing that they should do first when they land? You know, like when they get here, what is their what should be their number one goal to start off successfully? At least start on the right foot.
Yeah. You know, I think the best thing that we did was to surround ourselves with other people who are doing the same thing, and I mean that the way to do that is acting classes, improv, groundlings, UCB. I mean, those are integral nowadays. Especially, you want that on your resume.
Yeah.
Everybody wants an improv actor. Everybody wants an actor that has been to the schools in the area, because it just shows a level of professionalism and like respect for the craft. Nobody's gonna hire a guy that just like, you know, even you could be like super talented, but if you don't,
there's that myth of like where I'm gonna get picked up off the street.
Yes,
and I hated that.
No, Charlize Theron might have done it, but
yeah,
I don't even think she did it. I think that's an urban legend. You know, it's like I think that's one in a million, and you know, and I think a lot of those stories is 10 years of hard work and grinding that is then the overnight success story.
Yeah,
it took me 10 years to be an overnight success.
It's like looking at the iceberg when you see the little tip of success and you don't see everything below it that it took to get there.
I mean, that's right. That's the cliche, but that's what drives me, is because I know, like, I've gotten close to projects, and I think the biggest thing is the mental battle of it all, because it's a lot of rejection. Yeah. Mostly rejection. You know, like, you're gonna get rejected 9 times out of 10, 20 times out of 21 times. It's like just like that's just how it is, and it has nothing to do with you. It's all outside of your control most of the time. They wanted blue eyes. They wanted a taller actor.
Yeah.
You know, they hired the writer's brother. It doesn't have anything to do with you. You just, the only thing you can do, and Bryan Cranston is the one who taught me this, is just you do your work. You present a character, you walk into the room, you present the character, and then you walk away.
And let it go.
And you just, that's it. You know, and that was the best advice I ever got, because I'm so like, oh my God, I'm in the room. I'm just like,
Yeah, because I don't think that you can. I don't think you can survive as an actor if you're taking everything. If you're taking all the
can't.
rejection to heart,
You'll
being able to let it go is
you'll
so
quit.
important.
And I see it
Yeah.
I see it every day. I see my colleagues, they're dropping like flies because they're like, oh, I've given myself 5 years and I can't do this anymore. It's the mental battle is just too much.
Do you think that giving yourself a time limit is smart, or because I hear a lot of people? So I'm going to give it 5 years, and if not, I'm done. I feel that
No, I don't believe in that. I think that that's. I mean, people have said this before, and so this isn't my 2 cents, but I agree with it. I think that, you know, if you're giving yourself a time limit, then you're just kind of setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
You know, if you give yourself a plan B, it gives you that.
It's that risk.
Yeah, you're leaning on it. You can always lean on it. You can always say, oh, you know what? You don't try as hard. If you put everything on the line.
You know, there's that story where I can't remember who said it, but it's whoever was the guy that said like they landed to the island and they're like and they burnt the ships, you know, and they said the only way that we're getting home is if we win. And like I think that this career kind of requires that insanity.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, it does.
and that commitment.
I mean, if you really care, if you really want to be somebody,
Yeah.
if you really want to do this, and I'm learning more and more as I go that like it's not a joke, you know, it's not just like a fun little play that you're putting on. Like this is, you really got to like put your heart and soul into it. And that's another thing that just, it sounds cliche and everybody says that, but it's like any other art. Like if you really want to like survive, not just like survive, like make money and like make it like your life, but like if you want to survive as an artist, as somebody who's putting your soul on the line, you got to give everything.
You know, I mean, so many people will wait, you know, just to survive, wake up and it's a necessary part of, I think, a necessary part of this world is having a job and then still having the energy to still work. You're basically having to work a double time job until you can get to the point where you can sustain yourself. I mean, so what I see is that people will wake up at 6 a.m., get to work by 7 a.m. for their job, but they don't apply that same work ethic or effort, because for me it sucks getting up early.
Totally.
And I'm not even good at this, but to apply that energy to say I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna do this today, whether anyone's watching me or anyone's telling me to or not.
Yeah.
I think that spirit and that work ethic will separate you so much from everyone else, because that's a rare, to find that energy. I mean, it's a rare thing. And
you got to figure out a way to do it. Like you got to have people, because there's really nobody holding you accountable. There are no deadlines, but you got to really like.
But that's the thing. It's
you
like
have to
so
do that
much
for
of it is
yourself.
up to you. And
and that is, there's no structure. You don't know. It's not like med school. It's not like, after 8 years of med school, I'm going to be a doctor. It's like, after all of this effort, I still might. Don't know. I don't know. I could be on the streets of. Where are we? Where are we right now?
What keeps? Oh,
Hollywood?
we're off of Kingsley.
We could be on the streets of Kingsley tomorrow. So.
Yeah. What do you think? What keeps you motivated? What is your biggest driving force to keep going with this career? You know, I mean, like.
I think that there's just something like I've always been the creative mindset. I've never been the analytical mindset, and I think it's just that drive. I know that I am capable of having people, react and empathize with my work and feel something, and I feel like I have something to
offer.
To offer, and I don't know what that is, but I would be like, it's a grind, and it's a lot of it is miserable. Trust me, like it's.
So basically, don't do that.
No, and that's right. Don't ever do what I'm doing ever. No, but it's hard, and you have to understand that. But at the same time, I embrace the struggle now. I used to just be like, I used to be woe is me and complaining all the time, but I embrace the struggle because that's how you grow. That's how you learn.
Yeah.
And if I gave up, man, there'd be no reason to. I couldn't sit at a desk. I couldn't crunch. No, I couldn't do any. Like I have to be creative. I have to be creating something, and I don't know where that's going to lead, but I'm not going to.
The alternative is way worse than the possibility of failure, and
just so much worse. And I'd rather be struggling and grow as an artist in that than give everything up and have to compromise my own. I mean, what the hell are we doing if by the end of your life you compromised? And I just won't do that.
Yeah, and whatever path. I mean, it doesn't even have to be acting. It could be music. It could be literally accounting. And if it's what you love, whatever you think that your passion is or what your goals are, don't compromise on them because.
I just don't understand how can you? How could you ever? Like as a human being, as knowing that nobody knows what happens when we die. Like nobody knows where we go. So if you really only have this one life, like why wouldn't you? Put everything on the line.
Do you ever see that picture of Earth after I can't remember which satellite it passes Pluto, and then you see the little speck that we're on. I mean, you understand like the enormity of the entire existence is that we're all it's mind-boggling, and so don't be fearful of continuing to pursue because I think it doesn't. It's not as things don't have to be as failure should not be as heavy. Failure is a
I think that failure is integral.
Is a serious part of success.
I think and this is another thing that I keep hearing, and it's the best advice ever. Is just like you gotta fail. You gotta put yourself out there, and you fail, and you fail, you fail, you fail. That's how you learn. That's how you grow, and that's how. I mean, everybody who you look up to, everybody who you idolize, has failed more times.
Yeah,
it's unfathomable. True. They want to fail,
and it makes your story more interesting.
And you gotta put yourself out there, and it's risky and it's fear, but you gotta get over that. And for me that was a huge thing. I had stage fright. Getting in front of people, I would lock up and I would choke, but I got over that.
That's been my thing too with acting is that I don't feel that it came. It was almost the idea of overcoming that challenge was so I wanted to be good at that. I wanted to be, and so I think that challenge is if you can embrace that, if you can overcome that, so it's the best feeling in the world when you're like, oh, hey, that take actually wasn't. I believe that, it's a good feeling. And well, are you working on anything right now? Are you? Do you have anything in the mix? Or?
Yeah, right now I'm working on 2 pilots. I'm shooting another pilot. I shot one. I'm shooting another one in a couple weeks. One of them is about it's like kind of like a girls vibe. It's set in L.A. though, and it's actually a great script. And the other one is a lot like this show called Party Down.
I love Party Down. I was but when that got taken,
come on, man,
that was one of the best shows on the air.
I know. And it
was
Adam
the best
Scott,
cast too.
Oh, it's so good. But it's a lot like that, and I think that there's a great niche for that. And
that's
so
great.
Yeah, so
dude, please bring something like that back because it's.
I know, right?
I was so bummed when that was gone.
Such a good cast, and all those people are
I think it was actually popular. I think it was. I think it ended because the actors started taking off.
I think that Jane Lynch and Adam Scott wanted to do Glee and Parks and Rec, and so it just kind of fell apart. But
that was
so good. Yeah.
Well, cool, man. Well, can you give everyone your where they can find you, where they can follow what you're doing, and all your social media and stuff like that?
Yeah. My Instagram is @GehringCD, GEHRANCD. I'm currently working with those 2 guys that I came out here with, and we do these episodes called Mr. Good Boyfriend,
which is a great comedy. You seriously need to watch this. It's hilarious. It's good.
It's a little ridiculous, but it's it's a good time, and those guys are amazing. So
What was the episode with the sun screen or the
Oh yeah,
sunburn?
yeah. I think it's called Sunburn.
Sunburn. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Check it out on
Check that
YouTube. You're really gonna. It's really. It's quality acting, and it's very professional, and it's not. It's very serious.
Yeah, very very serious.
It's very serious.
It's really good though. Seriously, so check him out, guys. Christian Gehring. Thank you for
Awesome.
coming with
Yeah.
us and talking with Blue Octopus Media, my
Yeah,
man.
dude. Blue Octopus.
Blue Octopus Media.